All right. Happy Monday. Welcome to July, everybody. Ryan Ripken Show, officially over a year, technically. We'll get into all of that here in a second. But welcome into a Monday. Happy July. We got a lot in store for you today, and let's just run through what's on the agenda. How about this? A lot of Orioles news. The Orioles bounce back against the Rangers. They win the series, and I know it was not a great finale, but hey, they're back on track and right at the top of the AL East where they hope to stay. We're going to get into some other prospect untouchable lists of what's kind of going on, possible trade targets, and maybe there's one name in our Factor Crap segment, gentlemen, that might need to be considered and could be available. We'll detail that in the future. There was a certain Raven that went up north. We'll touch on that as well. And then some news and notes around Major League Baseball. One top prospect for the Washington Nationals is making his big league debut. And there was a little bit of drama up in New York. No shocker there. And we will let you know what's going on around Maryland like we always do. And now let's talk about who's in studio with us. Starting on my right, we got Zach and Kevin from Kevin Zach Reacts. Guys, how you doing?
How you feeling, Kevin?
I think this is a question for you. How are you feeling?
I'm physical. It's my mic.
Yeah, you're good.
Am I? Oh, I can't hear myself.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm physically here.
There you go.
You're low. If you could fix this gain.
I will work on it. Which one is he?
I don't know.
The one that's moving up and down. Test.
All of them are moving up and down.
Test.
It's all the way up.
Man, Brad with the all-time swag going on over here. Look at
I'm
this.
vibing today. I'm vibing.
Yeah, it's all about the vibes here. Where are my glasses now? Now I'm all over the place. I can't find it out. Yes, in Pocket Watch, Zach is alive. But when I asked him if you had a time, he had a time.
Yeah, it was a time. It was a great time, but definitely feeling the effects of said time right now. That's for sure.
Well, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, tell us the story. Nobody knows.
The open bar was open. It was as open got. And you kind of like halfway through the wedding, like two groups are made. Like everyone's going up to the open bar at first. Like, you know, you're coming in waves and everything. And you're like, okay. Like then as the wedding starts to like get like an hour in, groups separate. And there's like the people who are always at the open bar and those who are casually drinking and like kind of have stopped. And then like you saw the same people. Like it was just rapid fire. It was like just a rotation the whole time. I'm not going to say which group I was in, but
well,
we see how I feel. So
yeah. Well, how many total drinks did you have? You had to guess. I know you probably don't know the exact number. Maybe you do.
At the open bar, sorry, Mom. There was probably at least 13, 14 beers done at the open bar.
Wow. That's not including shots or anything else? Or
Oh, no, not including shots.
so probably upwards of, so if we just round it out and say 20.
But there was a big meal. There was a big meal at the wedding, so that's why I was able
So you had stuff in your stomach. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
That's why, you know.
Well,
so.
if we round it out to 20 drinks for you total.
Throughout the night, yeah.
Zach and I combined with my birthday celebration and his wedding had 21 drinks.
Damn it, Kevin.
I don't know what to say. Whoa, hey now.
Sorry.
How does that feel, baby? Oh, you haven't seen Austin Powers 2, the Spy Who Shagged Me. But Zach, proud of you. Nancy, close your ears. Earmuffs for Zach. I'm sorry, but it's okay. He's alive. But Zach, honestly, quite frankly, your story probably won't be the most memorable from this weekend. Not that you didn't have a great time and it was a celebration of true love. That's why we go to weddings, right? So we can be in the presence of true love.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
I don't even I will be honest. I felt like I missed so much this weekend. Like just everything was just so like I'd check my phone and like stuff would be going down and I'd have I was seeing like highlights from this weekend and I just had no idea they even happened. The Orioles even on their Saturday win when I just obviously was not able to check Twitter as much. They used their post game. They said play the song. So like missed that and everything. It's just a tough one, but you know, we're back on the saddle.
We're back. But again, it's not the most memorable moment from this weekend actually. The most memorable moment actually happened on social media. Specifically, happened on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. There is one, I guess you could say it's lucky, unlucky, fortunate, whatever you want to consider. If you're an Orioles fan, you're happy it happened. But for our next guest, it's part of the ride and experience, so to speak. So for those that don't know, Heston Kjerstad hit a grand slam, but that wasn't the thing that stole the night. There was a tweet, and the guy that tweeted it out, let's just bring him on here, Mr. Calvin Wooden, or do you consider this Flock Seawood, at Flock Seawood? Is that correct?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I might as well just change my at to the ass tat guy. I mean,
yes,
I can't escape it. It's everywhere under every picture that I've ever posted on Instagram, whether it's my son being born or my sister getting married, everyone's asking when I'm getting it. And I've given them the same answer, which is Friday at 11 a.m.
So let's give people some context here, and I will pull it up there it is. And there's the tweet. And this was before Mr. Kjerstad went big ball. It was, if Heston hits this grand slam, I'll get his name tatted on my ass, end quote. And Calvin, it only took 13 seconds for you to regret this tweet.
Yep. I mean, regret is probably not the right word. I feel like things are too serious nowadays. Yeah. And, I like to make people laugh. And it's something that's been instilled in me since I was a child. And, it's one of those things, like I had done this before back in 2016. I have a Geno Smith tattoo on my ass because of it. But back then it was for 10 likes. And I was also, 8 years younger. But this one, I've met a lot of really cool people on Twitter, and I've become friends with a lot of people. And, it was just something fun, and it's something that I've done every now and then. I've thrown it out there, and it's never bitten me in the butt or anything. But, I was at work. I'm standing at the bar. I work in a sports bar, and I'm standing there at the bar, and I'm looking up at the TV. I tweeted it out real quick. I get distracted. I look up, and I see the ball going over the fence, and I was like, there is absolutely no way. I didn't even close the app. I just hit send, and right as it said tweet has been sent or whatever, I saw the ball go over, and I was like, there is no way.
And the thing was, too, Calvin, it wasn't like I told people, I'm like, the fact that the grand slam was insane. It was a cutter inside that wasn't a bad pitch, and usually that pitch would go out to right. And Heston and Rock, and Rocco, good to see you, by the way.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Great to see you. But Heston hit out the right center. And honestly, the first time I didn't see your tweet, I saw on ESPN Bet and then like John Boy and all this, just your tweet. And I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
Is that the Calvin that is a part of the Orioles Birdland Twitter and the Ryan Ripken Show community? I think it is.
It was surreal because I saw that Talking Baseball had replied underneath of it, and then they immediately deleted it, and I was like, why did you delete it? So I instantly DM'd them, and I was like, yo, look, here's my Geno Smith one. Like, I'm a person that, my life's a bit, so like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through with it. Like, I'm just letting you know. And then then they ended up following me, and I talked to them for a while, and it was really cool. And then seeing them post me on Instagram is what really did it for me, because it's just Twitter and Instagram are two different audiences. And and just the Instagram traffic has just driven to my Twitter, and it's been blowing up. My phone's been dead for 2 days, and I probably haven't answered texts that I should have because of it.
That is elite. But so now I'm curious, since you've already had the Geno Smith, which cheek is that on for Geno?
It's on the right cheek.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so where will Heston go? Is he going to go join the right cheek? Is he going to the left?
I did a poll, and it was like 48% said left to have its own. And then, the rest was for the right. And, I did send you the design.
We're going to get to that too.
Yeah. So we'll show that. Shout out to Fields for doing that design for me. But so it might become a thing where I need to have it big enough to where you can read it. So I might have to give him his own cheek. And, it's just going to have to be something I assess when I get there. It's funny because I originally had this appointment set to get a tattoo of my son's birthday behind my ear, and now I'm like, sorry, son, I might have to get a tattoo on my ass.
The gift that keeps, he'll understand one day when you tell him.
I mean, he'll laugh about it too. We got a good sense of humor in this family, but I'm gotta do what I gotta do. There's people relying on me, and I can only imagine a world where I don't do it. I think someone would come to my house.
That is hilarious.
Well, hey, you know what? You're a man of your word. And that's the thing. Yeah, we keep it light, but if you're like, yeah, Heston, you're at a grand slam, well, shit. Heston,
You did
we're gonna get that tatted. And you know what? We're gonna find a way, Rocco, that Heston knows. We're gonna find out the way for Heston to know. He's been on the Ryan Ripken show.
Yes. Funny enough, when I got my Geno Smith one, I tagged him on Twitter in it, and he blocked me. So not only do I have his name on me, but I'm also blocked on Twitter.
I guess truly Geno didn't write back there. Like literally did not write back.
Well, his name is going to be there forever. So, I mean, I'm keeping his name alive when he retires.
Perfect. Well, I would think so. So here, let's can I unveil it? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we go. So I'm going to unveil this. I'm going to share the screen and let's go 3, 2, 1. Whammy.
Oh, that's sick.
Wow.
So originally
yeah.
I had sent you because I kind of just like was spitballing ideas, and I wanted to make it a little bit better than the Geno Smith one because I actually am a fan of the Orioles. I'm not a fan of the Jets at the time when he was the quarterback. That was more of me talking shit, being like, Geno Smith's not going to beat us. I'll get his name tattooed on my ass if he does, and he did, which more power to him. But I wanted to make this one a little bit have some more details, because it's actually something I care about, and I do love the Orioles, and I just love the fan base and all the people in it, and just my favorite place to be is under an Orioles win tweet. That's like one of the best places to be because just the memes and people making jokes, and it's amazing. So I wanted to get it to be something more meaningful. So I hit up our boy Fields, EDC burner, whatever you want to call him. And he's a good friend of mine, and I was like, yo, this is my idea. I just need you to make it like better. And he did. And this is what he came up with. And it's going to be the first tattoo I've gotten on myself that I didn't design personally. So it's going to be big, and I'm excited for it. And the whole thing is just really funny. And I'm just glad people are getting a good laugh out of it because it's just can't take it too seriously. It's on my butt for a reason. So no one can see it unless, I'm showing them it and it's not outwardly offensive.
Honestly, this is a couple things here, guys. 2 things this week. I wasn't expecting on the bingo card for Ice Cube to join us, and then I wasn't expecting then to have Calvin on to talk about ass tattoos all in consecutive shows.
You know how much pressure it is to follow up Ice Cube?
I mean, imagine if you did this before and we got his opinion on what was happening here, but it is truly a sight to see.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a great moment. Heston's balling out here. And by the way, for people that are thinking Heston Kjerstad's going anywhere, he's not. Heston is going to be in Baltimore for a while. But also, I'm glad you mentioned, Calvin, about keeping things light. Like, that's just what we need. I mean, look, we talk about Rocco. Does Twitter turn out to be a dark place?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a cesspool. But there's also a lot of great people on there. This community's awesome. Like,
exactly.
The fact that, you did this, the community just, like, came to your support for doing this.
Support
part of the community as well, designed it, and then you're going to go get it done. And we're talking to you on this show. It's really cool. I mean, it's kind of surreal right now.
I mean, it's awesome, and this is surreal. Just like it's funny because obviously my name is Calvin, but like I'm from Baltimore. Your dad is a big influence in my name, so it's like weird. Like the fact that I'm even sitting down with you right now and just doing this whole thing is just it's incredible. And just over me being stupid on Twitter, who would have thought it? You can't write it. You can't write this stuff.
You can't write it, Calvin. You know what's funny is that I was talking to Kevin about like what we were having on our show today, and so far, yeah, Brad's trying to fix some things up, but
it looks like he's pouting in the corner.
Oh,
yeah, I'm in timeout. I always am.
We know that, but Calvin. I go, oh, we're having Calvin. He's like, oh, like meaning Calvin, my dad. He's like, oh, finally getting him on the show. He finally gave in, and I'm like, no, Kevin, the guy that Heston's home run, and I sent him the tweet, and he's like what was?
And then I got even more excited.
Yeah.
And then I got even more excited.
I always like to make jokes that Kevin takes my wife every time there's a picture posted of him on social media anywhere. My fake Twitter wife that I always talk about that doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, now I see, Calvin, there's a little bit of luck in these tweets here. Are you going to tweet out if the Orioles win the World Series or if the Ravens win the Super Bowl? I mean,
I've thought about it, but at the same time, like I'm going to have to do something to where it's my bit now, and it's not going to be the last one, I'm sure, because it's just it's going to be an interesting sight for anybody that sees my bare cheeks in the future. We'll say that much.
Yeah, can we stop wasting these on regular season games? Because I think we need your ass tat powers in like the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys want me to do one for the trade deadline? Like, do we have anybody in particular that we're looking for? Like, I mean, Garrett Crochet. I cannot stop talking about that man. But like, I'll do it if you make me.
Trade for Garrett Crochet. Calvin gets another ass tat. Just
Right then. But it would be even worse is if he got traded for Heston. So then it would be like a flip flop.
Oh wow,
We wouldn't allow that. We wouldn't allow that to happen.
you just scratch out Heston's.
Yeah, big red X. Yeah.
Crochet.
Oh my gosh.
I think Mike Elias is watching right now and just thinking like I could do something hilarious in
right now?
Yeah. He's just watching the Ryan Ripken show, like thinking about what he could do in helping Calvin get another tattoo on his behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could be.
The important things.
Oh, shirts and pants. Well, Calvin, then before we let you get on out of here in a minute, besides this feat, you're gonna it's happening Friday. We need to get a little bit more content. So our content guy, Zach Bollinger here, we're gonna figure out. We're gonna need the updates.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm actually
Okay.
trying to figure out a way that I actually might. So I can live stream on TikTok, and I might live stream me getting it. Not obviously my ass, but like
Yeah,
we don't need
that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get TOS and ruin that what I got going on there. But I might go live and do it. I'm not 100% sure yet. But if not, I'm gonna definitely have someone with me that'll be taking video and farming enough content out of this for all of us to eat. So. Anytime you want me to come back on, I'll show it to you live if you really want me to.
That's happening.
Well, yeah, yes, we do want that.
That is happening.
I'm just
I
thinking
can't
of a
have any
live
shame
stream.
left. ESPN already posted it. Like, my whole family knows, everybody, my work knows. So, hey, it's all out there now. They might as well see it to believe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Between this and Kevin smacking himself in the face with a piece of turkey bacon, I think you guys could create your own subscribers only website and make a whole lot of money in this community.
I don't know if that beats it though.
Oh, it does. Oh, this is to such a higher level than that turkey bacon thing. The only reason the turkey bacon thing was so funny to people was because I misunderstood the donation.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Did you misunderstand the
I did.
donation?
I did.
Kevin just
I don't know
wanted
if that
to
makes it better or
slap
worse.
He just wanted to slap some meat on his forehead is really what it
All
came
right.
down to.
$5 is what Kevin sold his.
Best
The
was
line-
the-
it's all hard on a second.
That's the line. $5 is the.
Time out.
That's what he's
Time out.
established.
Why is it that when Kevin is at home doing these late night posts that are borderline OnlyFans-esque, he is 100% confident, does it loud and proud, no problem. I'm going to chomp on some potatoes. I'm going to deep throat some corn dogs. I'm going to do whatever. But he's in here and he's like embarrassed about it when he's just.
No, I'm not.
You,
Dude,
is his tone not different in here than it is behind that other camera
yeah,
at home?
did you hear the voice crack right
Yeah.
there too?
Yeah, really
Like that.
defensive here, but you definitely he's like, okay. Well, you brought this upon
Yeah.
yourself. You're the one that slapped meat on your forehead.
You know what? This is
It was a hard slap too. I didn't mean to do it as hard as I did it, and then it just kind of happened.
oh
And then Rocco gave me some awesome play-by-play on the actual thing that was supposed to happen at the 5 minutes later. So it was good. It was a fun time. I guess.
Kevin's in concussion.
I mean, we got
protocol
$250 in channel memberships out of it. So.
and we love our community. This is fantastic, and this is again like the fun part of it, Calvin. Right? Like we can come on, have these conversations. We will judge. Well, I was gonna say we don't judge. Well, we will judge.
Yes,
But it's okay, right? It's okay, and I think that's the part what I love with you and what's going on here. You're like, hey, people have revolved around this situation. Same with Kevin smacking meat on his face, and so, but people can gravitate around something in the community, whether it's always positive or negative. It is entertaining, and I think a lot of people, mostly, it's been an entertainment. So I appreciate you for being yourself, your authentic self with it.
I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah, and we love that. We love that. Anything then, you know what? Last thing I want to mention, you plugged out when all the stuff was happening, or the recognition. You made an effort to then plug the communities and podcasts and content creators and people out there locally, and I thought that was really cool. And if you just want to touch on that, and then we can let you get down here if there's anything else you want to touch on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anybody that doesn't know, like, I love to like Photoshop pictures and like respond to people with just like, I just like to curate like stupid little memes to like reply to people or like, quote tweet people. And it's something that's really fun. And I just know is like somebody that edits pictures, not in a serious way, but like in a way where people are like, that's a good meme. I've had people try to take credit for stuff, or I've had people, I know there's other people that have done the same, I feel like sometimes people don't get proper recognition of, and the people, this is the Ryan Ripken show, but, everybody else like Brad, Rocco, Kevin and Zach behind the scenes.
Thanks for remembering me, Calvin.
I remembered you this time. That was an accident. I swear to God.
You were the first mention after too, right?
Every fucking time. Every time.
Rob, what is it?
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Calvin. I think I'm just a forgettable person.
Insert the meme, Brad.
It's because of the name being like, if I thought through a dartboard, or thinking of the most common name, it would be Brad Smith. Like if I'm trying to come up with a fake identity, Brad Smith.
Listen, everybody asks me that. Like if somebody doesn't know me, or if like, I'm giving my information to like, I don't know, a doctor or something like that or whatever. I'd say like, my name's Brad Smith, and they just look at me and they're like, no, really? I mean, I'm like, that's my name. Like, it's not.
So two things you're trying to accomplish right now. One is that you're putting doubt that your real name is Brad Smith, or two, you are now peacocking so Calvin will not forget you in circumstances like this.
Never forget.
Calvin, you're not the first one. Benowitz did it too.
Hopefully, I'm the last. But yeah, I just and just like the Exit 32 podcast guys, I've been listening to them for a long time, and like. Zone 32 is buddies of mine that I've known for a long time. And it's just, and the Baltimore Battery. And it's just, people do work hard to, put these platforms up that make good content. And I just feel like, when people do go viral, they're very quick to plug themselves. And it's like, I'm just not, I'm not a very, selfish person. I usually think about other people first. And I just, I wanted to make sure that, there's a million impressions on that thing. I might as well let some of the people that, I talk to and that, that I want to see succeed on a daily basis. Like, I want them to be able to get some of the action too. And I'm glad that it did have some reach, and that, it made it to, ESPN made a TikTok about it. Like,
screw that, Calvin. We're going to make you bigger than the Hawk to a girl.
I don't know, man. The memes are great off that.
I don't know if that's going to be
the Hawk to a girl in the ass.
That is.
Listen, yeah, you both should be on the same show, honestly.
Yes.
That's a different type of content there.
I don't know who.
We're both showing asses, but not in the same way, if you know what I mean.
And we are off the rails early and often here on the Ryan Ripken Show.
Before dinner time.
Before dinner time. Yeah, great dinner conversation.
Oh,
Calvin,
talk about it at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Where can people find you then if they want to continue to follow your journey, not just with this, but just for you in general, just being who you are?
Yeah, I'm Flock Seawood on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which I used to do a lot more. I used to have mostly football-based content, but, I've always been an Orioles fan, and I've just really started to enjoy the day-to-day that comes with it. So, I'm going to definitely might have to change my username here soon, but, for now, that's where everyone can find me. And it's probably going to be the Astat guy.
Guy.
Yeah. The second that Heston hears about it, I have to. There's no other thing that I can do other than be the Astat guy.
And hopefully he does not block you like Gino.
But if you want us to make sure he hears about it, we will definitely make it.
Hey, I won't hate that.
All right. Well,
but don't tell me if he has a bad reaction. Don't tell me, because I have feelings and I will cry. So if it's a good reaction,
knowing Heston, he's going to. Yeah, knowing Heston, he's going to absolutely love that.
Yeah. And I appreciate you guys, like taking the time to have me on, and I love the interactions that we have day to day, and this was really cool.
Well, we appreciate you, Calvin. You're a bright light, and you're making fun of a situation, and also again, we appreciate that you want to give back and give credit to a community that is bigger than most people anticipate and understand. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being you. And we'll have you back on to talk about the journey, and maybe not just about what's going on in your body. Deal?
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
All right. Calvin Flock Seawood, everybody.
Hey.
Appreciate it, Calvin. What a stud. What a great guy.
What a great guy. And again, I honestly, truly do mean that, of being able to, in a moment where a lot of spotlight's on you, that he legit wanted other people to be known of that he loves the cover. He tried to take a moment on a platform to go out there and be able to shed light on some positive things Baltimore wise. And while I'm trying to be sentimental here, Brad is being and who the hell thought Kevin said who thought Brad was the most mature of this group initially?
Yeah, it was Kevin. Yeah.
What a load of crap. Oh my goodness.
We did get a donation during that interview. Appreciate you, Raven Ron. Said live in Seattle from Baltimore. We'll be at the game tomorrow. I need a sweep. We'll let those fans know what this Camden Yards West about this Camden Yards West. Yeah, man. Listen, and Mariners are a good team.
I think he said live in Seattle, not live in Seattle there, Brad.
Well, he's watching live in Seattle.
He's live and
live in Seattle. Yeah, he's living and vibing. Fuck you, Rocco.
Oh, that's a shirt. That's another shirt slogan. Livin' and vibing.
Livin' and vibing. I like it.
Oh, I don't know how you determine it on a shirt though. I think if people are reading it, it'd probably be living.
Yeah, and we got a lot.
You mean how I just struggled with that?
We got a lot of merch. Hey, heal, both of you guys, heal, and give me back the moose, Kevin. So because we got a Mariners
we'll get demonetized.
Oh, no, get back the moose. Give us the moose.
I'm not. Go on.
What? Here, I got you.
Yeah, it's okay. Just there we go. So balling.
Oh,
no!
So close.
Brutal.
I was trying not to hit the light.
Yeah, that's
okay.
why I knew I was taking a camera out no matter what.
Yeah,
so I
sure.
just
All excuses. Excuses. Let's. But
would
so
have been so.
Turns out I am not that guy.
okay, we are getting way off track. Heel. Kevin actually is being tamed for once, and this is
for once.
For once.
What do you mean for once?
Yeah, Brad, you're not that guy. We'll get
I'm
into that in a moment.
I'm not that guy.
So let's talk about this Orioles-Mariners upcoming series here for a moment. And obviously the Orioles got back on track, took 3 of 4 from the Rangers. I'm not going to worry about what happened on Sunday night. The Rangers needed that game desperately, guys. And we're going to talk a little bit about them in a situation upcoming. But Texas sits 8 games out of a wild card spot. It's hard to sweep a team for 4 games, let alone 3. And it just was, unfortunately for Cole Irvin, it was misplaced pitches in the wrong circumstance. That's what got the offense going for Texas early. And then it seemed to be a theme the rest of the game. The bats couldn't get going, and the Orioles lose the game. But, I mean, look at it, guys. They're right where they want to be going to July 1. They just had another winning month, despite this gauntlet of a month with the schedule, the teams that they're playing. Coincidentally, the Houston Astros that everyone was worried about. Oh, they're terrible. They're now the hottest team in baseball. The second hottest team was the Cleveland Guardians, and that's who the Orioles faced in back-to-back series. But the Mariners now still sitting first. They are really good, especially in the pitching department. And guys, there's a familiar face over there that is a Seattle Mariner now. And he's a very close friend of the Ryan Ripken Show. Number 1 fan, Brad, some would say.
Self-proclaimed number 1 fan.
So Michael Baumann, former Oriole and very close friend of mine, got to chat a little bit earlier today. And so I just want to leave it with this this is a moment that he remembers and really holds dear to him during his time in Baltimore. As I download this, and I thought I had it downloaded here, but I'm about to download it here, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. But I think in this interview, Brad, safe to say with Mike, I think a lot of people are going to realize how great of a guy he is, 1, but 2, that he does care about. There's so much to the game of baseball that people aren't going to understand that aren't just it's professional baseball. It's not always glamorous. It's not always pretty, but these guys are still human too.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is too, having Mike on was awesome. I mean, it's been a long time coming. We've been trying to get that boy on here forever, but we've talked about this constantly, right? With Ryan O'Hearn and some of the other guys that maybe didn't do so hot in one organization or one environment, and then went to another one and started to flourish. And I'm thinking, just based off of the vibes I got from Big Mike, is that kind of feels that way for him in Seattle. Like, he still loves Baltimore. He loves the people. He loves the town. He still loves the team, but he said he feels like he's in a good spot there. And I don't necessarily disagree with him. They got a good pitching staff up there. And I hope Mike does well, just maybe not so much this series.
You know what? Hey, I still want Mike to do well this series. The Orioles win the series. Mike has great outings, but the Orioles win the series. How about
All
that?
right, fair
That's what I'm
enough.
about. That's fair enough. But let's talk about this. Because I told you, in this business, you're fans of the players, not just your teams on top of it. But yes, Mike does well. Orioles win the series.
I mean, Mike gives up a jack after what he said to me today.
No, well, we'll get to that in a moment. But Orioles fans, this was a moment that we asked Mike, one of his favorite moments of being in Baltimore. And I think this answer will warm the heart of many and understand how connected he felt with the city.
We're going to get that, actually. We're going to have like your photo and then have a blip of no, and it's like saying, I am the #1 fan of the Ryan Ripken Show. Get you signed.
Yeah.
Hang the jersey up here as well and make it all good. I'm going to ask you, let's just see some fun things here. And maybe you can sit on this, but do you have a moment in the bigs that you could think of right now where like was one of your favorite moments? And if you need a minute, we can keep talking about certain things.
I got one.
Oh, you do?
I think, yeah, clinching the playoffs last year. Well, I'll go back to 2 years ago when the season ended. That was kind of Baltimore's, first good season in a while after the dark years. And once the last game, everyone kind of stayed on the field and all the fans stayed for an extra 20, 30 minutes and were just given standing ovation. And that just kind of felt like an ode to, what the team, how far the team has come. And then last year, when we clinched the playoffs and we're going through the champagne in the clubhouse, and it was just like all that hard work, finally paid off.
So right there, as you can see, I love that he talked about that moment because as Orioles fans, especially here in Baltimore, 6 playoff appearances since 1983. The Orioles endured some of the worst losing seasons through the last few years prior to 2022.
Yeah.
And it just was an example of them recognizing, because the players went through it too. Like they're trying to figure out who's going to be a part of the rebuild, right? And who's going to be here. And for the fans to show their appreciation, you hear it from Mike, you hear it from other guys, but it just drives home the point how appreciative the players and the community are of one another. And I think I thought that was really great. And yeah, I mean, I'm always going to sing praises. The Baumanns are great people, man.
Yeah.
Great people.
Yep.
So, and Kevin, are you?
I'm just vibing. I'm listening.
He's a way different creature after hours, right? Where's Rock?
This is still decently
It's
early.
still early
me
for him,
today.
yeah.
I didn't get good sleep last night, so I'm kind of
Do you ever?
Or this morning, you should say.
some like once a week, twice a week. This was not one of those
You're like
days, though.
Elf, where you're like got a whole 40 minutes.
That is true. That is actually true.
Like,
Although apparently now the new controversy is whenever I don't really take naps, but the whole controversy with napping now is you have to either have it be 30 minutes or 3 hours.
yeah,
But I just take like hour and a half naps.
there's your issue.
Who takes a 3-hour nap?
That's what I'm saying.
That's just going to
Grandpa?
That's just like going to sleep. At that
Kevin.
Kevin. Oh, we should get Rocco back on the screen. But let's talk about this Orioles-Mariners series here now a little bit more in depth, shall we, guys? So
Yes.
Orioles are going out to Seattle, and people remember the Orioles won this series earlier against the Seattle Mariners, and they did it against some of their best arms that they were facing. I believe it was Kirby Castillo
Yes.
and Bryce Miller.
Mhm.
But that's what they're known for, guys. Seattle's a team that's known to pitch well, but they are struggling a little bit right now. They sit 3.5 games up on the Astros, who are now over 500, by the way,
They're
and
so
winners
blowing
of
it.
9 of their last 10. But the Mariners have lost they've lost
8 of their last 11.
8 of their last 11 and 7 of their last 10. So that's where we are right now. And do you guys have, or Rocco or Zach, do you have the pitching probability or the projections up for starters?
Yeah.
Probables?
So tomorrow we have Kirby on the mound. Kirby versus
Rodriguez.
Grayson.
Yep.
Do you have it more in front of you? Because I'm just literally clicking.
Kirby
through.
Rodriguez, Gilbert Burns, Miller Suarez for that 3-game series are the probables.
Right.
Who was the middle guy?
What's that?
What was the middle one?
Burns Gilbert.
Okay, Gilbert.
Gilbert. Yeah.
Burns. Yeah, that was Burns coming off of the paternity list because he was placed on the paternity list, and there was like not question if he'd miss his next start, but they were just unsure like what's going to happen. So that is the probable starting matchup. Right
Yeah, they activated him today, so he's good.
Yeah. So Corbin's back, and
Congrats, Corbin.
And then congratulations to Corbin.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Corbin. He's gonna throw 104 with that new dad string.
He might.
Is he a new dad? Is this his first kid? Anybody know?
I believe it's his second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
I think he has. I think he's had one. He has one before because I thought I remember them doing an interview with spring training. He was talking about his kid.
Oh yeah. Either way,
he
congrats.
has another kid.
Congrats, Corbin.
Either he has another kid or this kid grew a lot in the past few days.
Well, he's probably the size of Kevin, but that's
Yeah.
not saying too much. Kevin, wake up.
Kevin, you look so sad. I'm like,
He does look
I
sad.
need to just cheer you.
I don't
up.
know. I did not wake up the right way today in terms of like getting my tired out. I'm still tired.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you're tired, Kevin.
You
Get
got to
your
show up and
yeah,
play.
Yeah, you get your ass
Yeah,
going.
man.
Do you think Calvin? You just heard Calvin. You think when Heston hit a home run, he's like, you know what? No, I'm done. No, I got to
That's
embrace it.
Embrace the tired.
Yeah.
That's
Kevin,
what
you
I-
need some of that soda you gave us. I think
Gotta
that
push
will
through.
get the vibes going. Some
Well,
of that
if you were here, we could all.
you guys
Is that where
listen.
that soda came from?
Yeah,
My dad got one for each of us,
you
and
guys can crack them open without me. I'm
We're not.
like all
We're
cool with
not.
that.
I'm not having a soda that tastes like grass.
I don't
no,
think
yours is mustard.
I don't
Mine's
think it tastes
mustard.
like.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Whose is the grass one?
I have
Ryan Rocco is dirt soda.
I have dirt because I'm a dirt ball, but I don't think Brad. I think that's just like it's. I don't know if it's like the Harry Potter jelly beans where they actually taste like what they're called. I feel like it
I don't
tastes
know.
like actual. But I guess only time will tell. If it tastes like dirt, that's going to be the worst experience of my life. And if
I
yours
mean,
tastes like-
I've had jelly bellies, and the puke jelly bellies taste like puke.
Yeah. Can we get
Oh,
back to talking about this series? Is that okay? Can we get back? Can we reel it
Only
in
when
before
Rocco
I-
is here.
I got to
Can we
roll.
reel it back in? Are you rolling, Rocco? Is that a
Yeah,
good
I got to
time?
go to Aberdeen. To
Yeah,
the house.
don't be late.
I'm not. I'm not.
Rocco is going to be live guest play-by-play with Michael Mark Antonini up there in Aberdeen and all the boys. And I think Brad's the last one of the crew. Kevin hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, I'm doing mine in a couple weeks.
Yeah, same. Mine's August 2nd. I'll be in Aberdeen.
Yeah,
So-
I'm July 19.
Hell yeah! So
Yeah.
the whole Ryan Ripken crew is gonna be putting in the work up there with Mike up there at
Confirmed
Mic'd Up
Italian.
Sports. He's great. It should be great. The Battle of Italians.
No,
I'm
he's
taking
confirmed
Mike.
Italian.
Mike's tweet today was incredible announcing you.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was
awesome.
it was fantastic. All right, Rock. Well, safe travels. Give us some good content up there. Be a
Have
good
great
kid.
show. I will see you guys later on in the week. Have a great show, Brad. I hate you. Talk to you guys
Yeah.
soon.
Fuck off.
Jeez.
All right. When we're back, let's talk a little bit about the series again. So, as you guys heard, Corbin Burns is coming back to pitch in the series, which is all great. And Zach, because I know you love this aspect, while I'm telling you now, give us a pick for a home run in the series opener, by the way, because I want you to actually talk that into existence here, and we can have that be a part of our Hollywood Casino at Charlestown pick. So can you work on that while we get this
Yeah,
done?
I'll get the odds on it. I already know who I'm picking.
Okay,
but I
get
gotta
the
see
odds up, which
Gotta
would,
see what the odds are looking like.
which would be fantastic. And to give you guys a little bit more depth about the Seattle Mariners team here, the Seattle Mariners, look, they're a team that is not known necessarily to be a hitting juggernaut by any means, right?
You can. They're in last place in the league in majority. If we just want to put it out.
And I was trying to be nice.
Really?
I
Wow.
get that, but like, if they were really bad everywhere, then we can be nice. They have like one of the most dominant pitching staffs of all time, so we're gonna be really nice when we talk
Well-
pitching. So I'll tell it like it is. Their hitting is struggling this year. Now it's taken a real big hit. If their catcher just got hit, I'm trying to remember if it was Raleigh or Henniger, because it was one of the two.
Yeah.
But
And I'm
no,
tr-
it does seem like the Mariners right now. It was Garver.
No, and by the way, they're not. That's the thing, is you're being a little bit harsh there. It's not.
They're
12
last in average.
They're 12th in home runs, so they're a team that will have some moments. And damn, okay, they're 12th. They're 12th, middle of the pack in home runs. They're a team that overall, if we're looking at the RBIs category, yeah, they're down there a little bit. Team RBIs 24th in the league. Team average, yeah, it's not great. You know, it's dead last. You're correct. Below the Chicago White Sox.
Ryan, I love Rip so much that like he's so good at being positive. Like if I need to pick me up, I'm calling Rip. But like if it's a shitty team, it's just a shitty team.
But they're not. They're not
because of how good the pitching is.
Okay, so let's talk about the pitching staff here for a second.
Fantastic.
And for the Orioles, by the way, as people are going to know, the Orioles are still third in baseball in team ERA, 3.44. The only teams ahead of them, Los Angeles Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Seattle Mariners are slotting in at 3.58. And the reason why I wanted to bring up their starters, their projected starters, that's really where they have their foundation, a consistent starting rotation, and that's what they need, and that's why they have had a lot of success so far this season. Ironically, guys, for the, in all this, actually, since we're splitting it to the leagues, National League, American League, the Seattle Mariners are third in the American League. To put it that way. Sixth in baseball, third in the American League, only behind the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles.
So here's my thing. And by the way, I didn't mean to say shitty team as in the Seattle Mariners are a shitty team. It's just that when Ryan looks at a shitty team and he tries to find like all the best parts about it, which is fine, but that's why we exist to balance them out.
I was going to say they're bottom 6 in the league in average on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. That's not a good offensive team anyway.
I didn't say good offensive team.
You said not great. They're dead last.
Average team. That's not even an average offensive team.
They're
That's
an average home run. But so today's day and age,
they hit some bombs, but they're
all solo shots.
6. Yeah.
Because that's what I was going to say. Plus 6 run differentials, not winning baseball, right? I mean, you're not going to win a ton of games that way. It's great that they're 47-39, but to Zach's point, I think the pitching's carried them this far. Hasn't really been the bats.
And I think that's why for Seattle, they're definitely going to look for more offensive pieces, right? They need to. And they have a team pitching wise that can go into the postseason and have success, because pitching is what you're going to need. But you're right. Advantage Baltimore offensively. That's the big part of it. But it's going to be a chess match, because if Seattle can keep this as a low scoring game, things can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just how it works. And for the Mariners, they actually like sneakily have been able to, that's why their run differential, Brad, is that they're winning games that maybe that they shouldn't necessarily win, or they're pulling it out. And that's what you kind of have to do. I'm not saying that they are, again, that this is a team that is a very good offensive team, but they are doing things well enough to have success. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And so the last thing I'm going to say, as far as I wanted to expand this, to talk about this in one-run games right now, and this is what I was alluding to. The Mariners are 18-9 in one-run games.
That's impressive.
So when we're saying about they're in close games, it doesn't matter if it's a high scoring, but most games are low. Doesn't that sound like the Baltimore Orioles last year, where scratch and claw, you don't know how, but the Orioles won a close one? That's the Mariners right now. 18-9, if my math is correct, that is the best in baseball at this current time frame. The Orioles were the best last year. The Orioles currently are 9-11 in one-run games so far this year. Now, the Orioles going away from Camden Yards, as we know, they are a very good team away from Camden Yards. They are 24-14. So it should be very, very interesting to watch. And on the flip side, the Mariners are a way better team at home. They're 28-14, 19-25 on the road.
Here's the other thing. The O's are 31-19 against teams that are plus 500. So best record in baseball as far as that's concerned.
Well, there you go. I like it.
Like it too.
I like it a lot. And you know what I also like then, before Zach gives his pick?
Yeah, just so there are no odds out, because it's a day away.
It's a day away, but we'll wait for it.
Yes, but I do have my pick.
I want you to make that pick, but the reason why we're doing this is because it's a good time to remind people of we're talking about in the betting space. But again, you have to be 21 or older to gamble here. But our good friends Charlestown Races for Hollywood Casino up in
West Virginia.
Oh, hey,
I did it that time. Look at that.
He was on it.
I was so shocked by that.
I was too.
Oh my god!
Like, damn, Zach or Kevin's voice is louder than mine.
Yeah.
Holy shirts and pants right there. Well, yes, our friends Hollywood Casino up at Charlestown Races up in West Virginia is an hour away from Owings Mills. It's about an hour and 20 from Baltimore. We did a show up there. We're going to do shows plural up there.
Yes.
They have events. We missed the horse racing. I actually think up there, they have the big sports book. That's where we did the show from. So I think that's where we have to, maybe if Zach's feeling lucky for the Ryan Ripken show, he's going to have to place a bet there to see if it works out for the group. I think that's only fair.
I was going to do that when we went there the one time. We were next to the sports book, but then we were like, setting up.
Well,
and
and
I had my incident.
The hours, I don't know if it was because Tuesday, but like the hours of that area were also kind of weird. So
well, they're trying to rebrand some things. That's why. And we were going up on a Tuesday. We're going to go up on a weekend next time. Go to the steakhouse there, the Final Cut. Again, Kevin's going to get his burnt over there, but the rest of us are going to enjoy a nice medium rare to medium steak, whichever your preference is. And it's going to be a great time. And if you're a Pen Play member, again, complimentary fans. We got fans.
Yeah. Complimentary. Hello.
If you are a Pen Play card member, complimentary beverages if you use your Pen Play card up at Hollywood Casino. And they don't offer that in DC, the Virginia, or Maryland region. Only in West
Virginia.
Really good, guys. But again, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. And if you have a gambling problem, who do they call, Brad?
They call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And there it is.
Don't ruin your life.
Don't ruin your life, but
call that number.
And also, Pen Play members, you download an app. We got to put the app in there.
Yes.
If you are interested in this space, you download the app and sign up for Pen Play. Just for downloading, you have a chance to win $2,000 in Pen Play bonus cash.
Yes.
So
awesome.
So without further ado, Zach, you've had enough time here. You've had enough time.
Yes, I have.
What is your home run? Who are you pulling your home run card on?
It's, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got to ride the heavy, the hot hand. I'm going Heston Kjerstad. I think, he's just talk about a guy that is just doing nothing but barrel up the baseball right now. And like you even talked about a little bit ago with Calvin on his grand slam, that's not where you're supposed to hit that pitch. That's not at all. But he has just got insane, such unreal out of this world power where he took that baseball and put it to a spot it should never leave the ballpark at.
Yeah.
And still got it out. So love how he's swinging the bat. I'm going to go Heston Kjerstad.
Don't move. No. You got to fix your earpiece, man.
I just was trying
that
to put
one.
it back
That's why I said don't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you're the only one to ever do that.
That's why I was like, don't switch the camera. I was gonna say we forgot to address D Porter.
Oh no, we never would forget.
And
D Porter.
Yeah,
that dude's
baby.
wild. And then
Hold on, sup, fellas. Thanks for having the butt tattoo on. That dude is wild. We love it.
yeah,
We love Calvin. And there's a couple other ones here. Don.
Appreciate you, Don.
God. Not all heroes wear capes, but Don might. Don might wear a cape here. And Justin, thank you. Use this for a pitch pipe so we can really dial in on that. Insert West Virginia.
that was harmonious.
Yeah. Insert West Virginia harmony here. It's great. And then maybe since we've just talked about it, to wrap up this series, again, the probables for them pitching, we said were Zach, Rock already said it, but it was, and we just had this pulled up. Didn't we just have this?
So it's Kirby, then Miller's the second.
No, Gilbert.
Yeah. Murray's Gilbert, and then Miller.
The Suarez.
So.
And there it is. And look, and Suarez bounced back tremendously. He looked great.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see.
He looked great. I only had 2 strikeouts, but like just had everybody off balance.
And that's the thing is you don't have to strike everyone out.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you just have to pitch to get outs.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that actually, if we're going to look back to a great start earlier this year, it wasn't Albert Suarez. You guys remember Grayson Rodriguez's start against the Yankees?
Mm-hmm.
First game of that series, I believe it was. Grayson's strikeouts, I think he went 6 or 7 innings, had 3 or 4 Ks.
Yeah.
But he kept the hitters off balance.
Yeah.
He got out of the jams when he had to. And that's what you need to do. Grayson Rodriguez the other night didn't have a ton of strikeouts, I believe, when he went 7 innings. But he gave a fantastic outing, gave the team a chance to win.
Tristan McKenzie talked about it. He said the most impressive thing, like his holy crap moment, kind of like you with Juan Soto and Gunnar, was watching Shane Bieber, hell of a pitcher, in the minors. He said it made no sense when you watched him. What wowed him so much was he wasn't overpowering guys. He wasn't getting these big strikeout numbers. He was just going out there and just getting outs at a ridiculous pace, and no one could hit him, even though he wasn't striking guys out or getting the flashy 10K games.
Right.
He was going out there and just 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. He was like, it was one of the wildest things to watch. And he still does it in the MLB when he's healthy.
No, and that's actually a short we're going to have out there,
Yeah,
by the way, in the future, because Shane Bieber, the Guardians are doing this without one of their best arms, arguably their best arm in the starting rotation. But it's just a reminder, the biggest thing for Albert Suarez, what was the issue the last 3 starts? Besides that, he gave up hits. What do you guys want to guess it was? Anybody?
What was the question?
What was the biggest issue? Quiz time that Ryan Ripken said for Albert Suarez, the one thing I wanted him to work or focus on. Not giving up hits is not the answer.
Deeper into games.
Yeah.
No.
Shortening the counts.
Walks.
No, there it is. There it is, Kevin.
Let's
For
go.
one
First
time.
guess.
I was gonna say walks, but I knew you said that about Cade Povich.
But again, it all rings true.
Yeah.
Albert Suarez had 3 or more walks in his last 3 outings. And coincidentally, it has been a rough last 3 outings. How many walks did Albert Suarez have the last start?
1. You didn't have any?
Goose egg.
Oh shit.
Goose egg. So when you're able to limit your walks, and the same thing with Cade Povich, when he limits his walks, it allows you to go deeper into the game and allows you to then make them earn it. And if they earn it, you tip their cap. But when you live up a walk, or when you give up a walk, you're allowing more and more opportunities. But Albert Suarez, no walks, no earned runs. And I'm not saying it's always going to correlate, but go watch a lot of the great pitchers out there. If they get in trouble consistently, probably it's that they're leaving way too much stuff over the plate, which wasn't Suarez's deal for the most part. It was that he was allowing too many free passes. So,
yeah, I actually wanted to ask you this, and I never ended up asking you off camera, but might as well just ask you now. Cade Povich, Saturday night, had another great outing. Just still not just throwing a ton of pitches, earlier in the game. And I'll say this: I don't remember how many people he walked, but he didn't throw that many balls. He was through a ton of strikes. And it just ended up being that he got a lot of guys on base, and then ended up throwing into double plays or a lot of flyouts, that sort of thing. How does a guy like Cade Povich get deeper into games? I mean, he's going to have to figure out how to strike guys out. I think he only had 1 or 2 strikeouts, and it was just a lot of high pitch counts. I don't think he had a ton of walks though, because he wasn't throwing a bunch of balls.
He had 0 walks against the Rangers.
Okay, so
Ks.
But I think he only made it about 5 innings.
He went 5 innings, 86 pitches. So they could have thrown him out there for a little bit more. But the question in general is, how do you get a little bit longer of a leash? The goal is you want him to go 6 consistently.
Yeah.
He's only gone 6 once so far in his career right now. But again, it's early. But that was that unbelievable start against the Braves. Yeah. But Cade did pick up his first win, going 5 against Texas. And in that game, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 Ks. The Guardians game where they lost 3-2, but he gave up 3 earned runs. He gave up 7 hits, but he only walked 1.
Yeah. Since the Blue Jays game, he's pitched phenomenally well. His ERA has been ridiculous.
It's at a 4.05 right now. And I'm not worried about his ERA. I try to look at stuff.
I'm just meaning since that Blue Jays game, he's hardly allowed any runs.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing for him is why his pitch count is higher is the counts are getting deep, right? So if he's not walking the guy, it's getting deep in the count. When Corey Seager got drilled in the hand, it was a 3-2 pitch, right?
Orioles are such a dirty team.
Yeah, jeez, we'll get into that.
Yeah, very, very, very dirty team. But so you get the point. So for those guys, for young pitchers, and actually I would make, in this case, Jake Arrieta, if people want to remember that name for the Orioles, traded to the Cubs. Jake had issues then controlling his stuff around the strike zone. He was wild a little bit, wildly effective, or sometimes wildly inefficient. So then what happens? Well, your pitch counts get high and you don't go deep into the game. And then it just takes one mistake pitch then for a bad inning to happen. And that's just why I keep bringing up command and walks. Cade's deceptive. I think every hitter or pitcher would tell you they don't like giving up home runs, but if they give up multiple free passes and then a bloop hit falls in, or they make one mistake pitch and now that's a 4 spot, they're going to be more pissed about the walks than they would have been. All right, I gave up a homer a 2-run shot, tip your cap, whatever it is. So that's the example there. But the Orioles, they're doing great.
Yeah,
overall.
real quick, question for you guys that me and Kevin talk about a lot on the post-game show.
Mhm.
And it kind of can lead us into different conversations that we have planned. But right now, game 3 of the playoffs, assuming Grayson and Corbin went, games 1 and 2, is Cade Povich the guy you throw out there game 3?
I think it's way too early to have that conversation.
But game 3 is right now. That I'm talking about the state of the Orioles pitching staff.
No.
It would be
No.
who are you putting in there?
I hate these hypotheticals. you guys just
But-
Well, get ready to
know,
talk hypotheticals.
I was gonna say
because what day is it today? What day is it today? What month are we in?
We're in July, baby. This is hypothetical times. Give me
Yeah.
Povich
Welcome
game
to
3.
content creation, where it has to be about the people.
Okay,
Not-
but the people
it's
I
not
would,
about you.
I would
It's not about
probably
you,
say
Ryan.
Dean or Albert Suarez, to be honest. Those two veteran guys.
Yeah, a lot of people saying Dean.
I'd say it'd be one of those
Yeah.
two. If Dean's healthy, it's probably Dean.
Yeah.
Or Albert Suarez.
And when me and Kevin have talked about, we have not included Dean Kramer because this is in this moment at
then
the
then it's Suarez.
you go Suarez.
I'd go Suarez.
Would you consider giving it to Cole Irvin?
At this current time, no.
Would
At
you give
a
it
month
to,
ago?
would-
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah. All right.
I agree with that.
But I think I would go Cade.
Yeah.
I would go Cade as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, for Povich, what he's going to have to continue to learn, the one thing, it's just he's going to have to learn how to. They're going to. Let me put this: he's deceptive, but then he's going to have to continue to refine where he's throwing his pitches consistently. That's where he's kind of playing with fire at times, but stuff wise, his ability to keep guys off balance, it's there, but he's going to have to be a little bit more refined. Just like every young pitcher, but starting off, I've been really happy with him. You looked at when other young pitchers came up, it's not the easiest thing to do. I think he's given the Orioles, besides that Blue Jays game, which I still thought he pitched better than the numbers.
Yeah, he did.
He's given the Orioles a chance to win every single time. No earned runs, 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's given the team a chance. So we're talking
Sounds
about
pretty good in the playoffs.
Yeah, just saying. Ever since
I don't really understand comments like this.
Nope.
It's just once the tape gets out on Katie's in trouble. The tape's already out. Rip already broke it down. Like,
yeah,
players got the team. Opposing teams got the same film. The thing is that Povich, like you said, is deceptive. He hides that ball to the last possible minute. That's why he can get away with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, and again, like he's going to have to learn. And some hitters, once they see him, it's just like everything. If you see a guy more and more, you'll get more comfortable.
Yeah,
he's going to have to adapt. But pitchers always dictate the situations.
Yeah,
always dictate what happens. And hitters, it's the opposite right there. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I think this is an interesting conversation. Would they manage his innings? I mean, I don't think so.
I don't see that right now.
Yeah, I'm not managing. But the other thing here is this: Rocco has a thing with jinxing Cole. He did it again on the post game show. He did it on the post game show the night before he started, and he said, "I'm not putting a jinx on him, but I think Cole Irvin bounces back and he pitches like this and this and this or whatever." And then he came on a show after he pitched last night and was like, "Well, I didn't jinx him or anything." And I'm like, the tape is out on you, Rocco. You have a thing for jinxing Cole Irvin, so I don't know what it is.
All right. Real quick about the limiting Cade. So combined right now. Actually, no, I gotta go all MLB. So he's thrown 126.2 is his all-time record. I believe he's around 80 right now. Yeah. So I don't think there needs to necessarily, if he was closer to 100, if he was at that 100 mark, I would say maybe they start limiting, but I think they're going to kind of let Cade go to try to get to that like 150-ish. I think after that, maybe, but
if he's got a healthy arm and
Yeah.
your team's in the hunt,
I don't think they could tinker with
it's not going to matter. But guys, we talked about this in depth for a while. Let's move on here. And we're going to talk a lot more situations, and maybe we save the conversation of untouchable prospects and trade candidates for just a second here. But while we do this, because we want to take a little bit of a trip here around what else is happening in Major League Baseball before we dive in more extensively to the Orioles. So let's take a ride, ladies and gentlemen, on our Adams Jeep of Maryland. Oh, my God.
What are you doing?
You don't stretch while you drive, Kevin.
I know. Luckily, I'm stationary.
Oh, thank goodness you are. But hey, Adams Jeep of Maryland up in Aberdeen. They're one of our OG sponsors, and we love them for everything they've done. It's got the beautiful sign that you can't see because you see Kevin's face, but they're up in Aberdeen, and they're looking to have the best month of July ever. That is what they're doing. Best month of July ever. And they have new deals and promos that are coming out there. I mean, heck, guys, I just was up there the last week, up there checking in, got my car serviced, detailed, easy, awesome. I'm trying to get that picture back up where we're looking good. And again, I still think if you say Rocco sucks, the month ended, I still think that they would do the deal if you buy a used Jeep up there.
For $1,000, they're gonna give him $1,000.
I think if you bring it up, I still think that they would consider it.
I would think so too.
I think so.
Chuck's that kind of guy. If you went up and said Rocco sucks, there's very little that Chuck wouldn't do for you.
And I would agree with that. I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
Your hair's a whole personality right now.
My hair's a personality. Good. If I don't like it, play better. Right. That's the motto. Boo, boo, boo. I was trying to find. I just had this photo.
The one from Twitter?
Yeah.
Twatter?
Where'd it go? There are so many tweets out there. Oh, there it is. Found it. Man, talk about looking good. Let me pull that up here for a second. I'm not talking about myself. Maybe. Just kidding. Never would. But here we go. Up there at Adams Jeep of Maryland, having a good time with Matt and Chuck. Shout out Matt, by the way, just had his birthday this past weekend.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
But so there it is, Adams Jeep of Maryland, and they got all the lifts too. That's the bid every time on 105.7. You bend it, you bend it, you break it, they replace it for free for life. On they have a lift kit warranty for life.
Oh, no
by
shit.
the way, too. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the bit. That's what you need to listen to me on 105.7 The Fan more or on Odyssey app when you're traveling. When you're traveling. Hey now.
It's like you practiced that a time or two.
A time or two. Let's talk about now, though, a couple news around Major League Baseball before we keep moving. I think the first one, guys, that I'm excited about, talking about prospects when we get into it, James Wood for the Nationals is making his debut tonight. And we've talked about how talented Jackson Holliday is, Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be objective here, James Wood has the chance to be extremely, extremely special for the Washington Nationals. And if you guys think that, well, who is he? Well, he's a player that's just been tearing up AAA. He was born in Rockville, Maryland, by the way. So he's coming on back to the area. And to give you guys context of it, drafted by the Padres. So that whole Juan Soto situation, you know, the Nationals are rebuilding quick. And to give you context of his year, in 52 games in AAA Rochester, he hit a whopping 353 with 10 home runs, 16 doubles, and had an OPS north of 1,000. I think he was ready. It's safe to say he was ready to make his debut this year. And he's a guy at this current moment that is only 21 years old. So talk about bright stars. That's a player that I'm excited to watch. He is hopefully for the Nationals guys that are actually like kind of staying in the hunt here, especially in a very, very, I mean, look at the,
well, that's what I was going to say is like, this is such a weird year. If there was a year for the Nationals to like pull this off and like bring up the young guys, I think we see Dylan Cruz by the end of the year, maybe probably closer to September, but the Nationals can stick in this thing and just pull out of it at the end with, you know, the young talent they have coming up.
They really do. And that's a part. Shout out Mike Rizzo, the GM. He's done a tremendous job of they had one kind of bad 2 years, but they were competitive last year. And currently right now, they're only 4 games out of a wild card spot.
How many years has he been in the minor league system?
Who, James Wood?
Yeah.
Well, he came out of high school. And so technically his first year was 2021.
Yeah.
But he hit 51 home runs in his career so far in minor league system, which is crazy. His career batting average is 302 and his career OPS is 941.
I wasn't lying.
So this season isn't just like he just turned it on. He's just been consistently doing this shit.
Yeah. And he's got, when I say he's got light tower power, Kevin, do you want to guess what light tower power means? Oh,
like
Kevin.
Shooting down from the stars. on a starry night.
Okay. It hurts me how you guys don't know baseball terms. And we're going to have to take a class. We're going to
What,
go to
like
the
that?
board.
The thing with the ships in the ocean,
Okay,
the
let's do this.
lighthouse.
Okay, let's simplify this.
light tower.
Light tower.
With
Yes,
it
light
talks about,
tower.
It's
like,
gonna hit the light tower.
yeah, like it's
Oh.
a high arcing, like a bomb, like it's super.
He has his ball. Can
Oh,
hit
the actual
light tower.
light tower. Okay.
Light tower power.
We literally make the wordplay light Stowers power all the time whenever Kyle Stowers hits a home run.
Listen,
Never.
in Kevin's defense, some of these terms are kind of crazy.
Well,
You just pull them out of the air.
They're. I thought that was pretty easy. I thought it was pretty simple saying it.
I mean, I got it. I'm just saying, like, some of them are just like, where did that even come from?
Oh, hey, Justin, that might have woken him up. I don't know though.
Sacks are full.
Now I'm awake.
All right, Kevin. All right.
Are you okay now?
I've been okay. I've not been okay.
Okay. Let's move on then, shall we? Hey guys, around the Major League Baseball and other news and notes, and it's in the division. A little drama in New York this past weekend
Oh my God.
between specifically Marcus Stroman and Aaron Judge. So the play we're going to show you here is a ground ball to Anthony Volpe, and they're trying to turn two. But putting this lightly, you guys can read Marcus Stroman's lips, what he says.
Yes.
But Vlad Guerrero Jr. is safe at first. The inning doesn't end. And Marcus does something you shouldn't do, and that is show up your teammate on the field. So let's play this initial clip here. So you're going to see Vlad's getting out of the box. He's safe, but that's not the part we want you guys to focus on here. So right there, he said, throw the effing ball. And then when you show the replay here, if we move forward, Volpe is going to get the ball underhand, flip it to Gleyber Torres. So he was yelling at Gleyber because he felt like Gleyber didn't throw the ball as hard as he could. That's what he's claiming in this situation. But you know what? And you can think what you want about the New York Yankees or Aaron Judge, but you talk about a guy with leadership going up. Aaron Judge then approached Marcus Stroman in the dugout here, as you guys will watch. We'll put it up here. Sorry, put it up, Brad. My bad.
And you can see
he's giving the talk. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. And Marcus Stroman apologized later. And it is an emotional game, right? This is your career on the line. You're going out there and you're emotional, but just the do's and don'ts is when you're mad to physically yell at your teammate for not making a play out in the open. You can see we're talking about it because of it. It's just not a good look, right? And for the Yankees going into this Toronto series, they were not playing well.
No.
And hence the Orioles lost 5 in a row and they were 1 game back. So, but Aaron Judge, man, leader, he's been unbelievable. And that was just a moment. By the way, I know that Stroman was lower down, but Aaron Judge is a massive human being. And a guy, though, that does take a lot of pride in what are the right things to do. And if you're a baseball fan, you can say what you want about getting hit on the hand for Judge. I still think he handles himself with a lot of class and respect overall. And that's a leadership move. That's a big boy move right there. Okay. Great thoughts. Kevin's hiding under the laptop. Everyone's looking.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm honestly looking at this Diamondbacks prospect that when I was looking at James Wood's stats is just sticking off the page to me. But going back to the Yankees thing, it's kind of one of those things where people have kind of been talking about it. This Yankees team, it feels like everything was going so well. Now things aren't going well. You talked about the slump, and these issues are starting to pop off. You've started to see a little commotion in the dugouts. We saw obviously what we just showed with Stroman and Judge, but it just feels weird. It feels like something's off in New York, and obviously not playing well. Winning fixes everything. If they go rattle off 10 straight, everyone's going to forget about this. But this is one of those moments where if I'm the Yankees, I'm like, we got to right this ship quickly in the next week or two and just not let this start growing and more people have outbursts and stuff like that, where when you start losing over a longer period of time and that you shouldn't be, that's when you really start to see this stuff happening. So I'm not totally surprised about it, but I'm not really I don't see it as a massive issue right now.
No.
If it continues, then we'll see.
It's not a that's the thing is you take care of it, you move on.
Yeah.
Just more so of, hey,
It's
you
whether
don't
this
go out
continues
there.
happening is what's going to, which I doubt it will, but this is something where the Yankees, it's over the next week to be like, hey, this stuff ain't happening here.
Yeah,
and then,
according to Judge and Stroman, it was not a reprimand type of conversation. Apparently, Judge was letting him know that he wanted to play the first ball in the inning a little bit better. Apparently, it was about that. And then it said, which it was, he says, I was quoting, says, which it was hit off the bat. I wasn't even thinking about that. He was just checking in with me on that and letting me know that I was doing a good job battling. So believe what you want, but that's what came from Stroman and Aaron Judge.
Okay, and
That it was
maybe
about a specific play, and it wasn't that one.
and maybe it was.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, someone talked to Marcus Stroman because he tweeted out saying, my emotions got the best of me there.
Yeah.
And that's that. So
poor Gleyber Torres, man. I feel like every time he does anything just not perfect, all of New York media, the fans, and now other players are just going at during that double play, what more could he have really done? It's not like he bobbled. He got it and got the ball over there. It's just I know he's not playing great. I know he's having some struggles, but it feels like I feel bad every time the man isn't perfect. He just gets destroyed online.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. But you know what? That's
because
New York media.
He's not Jeter, That's
Well, now
it was because of his first year there. He was incredible. He was so
He was
good.
Gary Thorne's favorite player
Yeah.
every single time.
They thought they literally it got to the point where they almost thought Gleyber was that next, not Jeter-esque, but that next group of guys that was going to come lead them to the promised land.
Yep.
And he's kind of fallen off.
Yeah. Well, and also too for Gleyber Torres, he was that prize piece that they got in the trade when they acquired him. He was expected to be this next great Yankee then that they got, and they were hoping, and it's been an up and down road for Gleyber Torres. And as a player, as a guy, being around the game, I hope the best for him. But that when you play in New York, that's what's going to happen. Another thing that's happening today, guys. I know it's July 1st, but happy Kevin, wake up. You know why? It's Bobby Bonilla Day.
All right, let's go. Chris Davis Day too.
There it is, baby. So what that means for those that don't know, Bobby Bonilla signed a contract years ago, contract ahead of its time, decades ago, where he has to get paid out. He's not just getting paid out by the Mets, by the way. He is getting paid out by the Baltimore Orioles a little bit. But the deal is every July until, do we have that tweet so we can get the exact date?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
He is going to get paid. Continuing moving forward, over $1 million. It was 1.19 by the Mets, I believe was the number.
Yeah.
If I had that correct. Beautiful for him. And again, talking about a guy when your career is over, but you're still getting paid, that's genius. And you're seeing a lot of players do that. Obviously, Kevin, you just mentioned Chris Davis had deferred money. Bobby Bonilla, as Darren Rovell just tweets out here, he's not the only one getting paid today. The Nats are paying $15 million to Max Scherzer. Ken Griffey Jr. is getting his last payment of $3.59 million from the Cincinnati Reds. And Manny Ramirez is getting $1.96 million from the Red Sox, as well as some other players. So, guys, it's a day that continues to live on, but no one is happier than Bobby Bonilla. Well, maybe, Max Scherzer making $15 million is pretty good too. All those guys.
I mean, I can't imagine what there's going to be Shohei Ohtani Day after Bobby Bonilla Day is over.
Yep.
Well, and that's
just
that might be. I'm curious what that payment's going to be out per year.
Yeah, I know.
Done.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
and it's just so crazy how these contracts can get drawn out like this. That players. I mean, how long has Ken Griffey Jr. been out of the league?
So from 2034 to 2043, Shohei Ohtani will receive payments of $68 million on every July 1st.
Oh my god.
$68 million every July 1st.
$68 million.
Holy
wow.
Yeah. For everyone talks about Bobby Bonilla. Now, when you look back at it, and then you have Shohei getting $68 million, and Chris Davis,
Yeah,
obviously,
it's the longevity.
I hate to say it, has Bobby Bonilla Day lost its touch? It kind of seems like
Does
it's
it?
about to
Are
be
you saying
Shohei
is Bobby
Ohtani.
Bonilla? Is it overhyped? Are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying, like it used to be the big thing. It was like, oh, the Mets have to pay Bobby Bonilla again, but now it seems like every team is paying somebody. Where it's
Yeah, that's
like,
good
Or is
point.
Bobby Bonilla the one who, made the bad deal? Because the future value of a dollar has gone down every single year, right? It's just like taking an annuity from the lottery. The dollars, the
Good
amount of
point.
money he's getting today was worth a shit ton more when he was getting paid while he's still playing.
It's a good logic right there. But I'll say this: if I was done playing and I knew that I would get $1 million every single year and I didn't have to do jack shit, if I wanted to, at least you know that's coming in. But you're right; things are inflated. There is no doubt about that. And here I'm seeing Brandon say that Ryan Braun is getting $16 million today. I mean,
Jesus
congrats,
Christ.
Ryan Braun, baby.
Good for you, bro.
Can we make this Kevin Oestreicher Day? Can everybody give me like $1 every July
Everyone
1st?
Venmo Kevin.
Yeah, give me like $1 every July 1st for Kevin Oestreicher Day.
every time you slap a piece of turkey bacon, Kevin gets
$5. That's the deal. The $5 donation.
Hey, $5 is $5.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
right.
You haven't seen. There's no way you've seen Beer Fest then, Kevin.
No.
Yeah. No, we're gonna have to watch that. There's a
$20
line in
is
there.
$20.
Yeah. I got $4. No. But I rest my case there. But Bobby Bonilla Day lives on, and for a lot of players, it is something for them that it gives stability. And quite frankly, it's a lot of money. Like that, you don't. Especially the bigger thing for them is it's just consistent income when you're done. And I think that's a part that is smart by them. And
Yeah, but you could take all that money, just invest it, and make 10% on that for the rest of your life.
I think something that takes it out of it where they know that they can't mess it up. I think that's another part. Just being honest with yourself.
Okay.
Don't make bad investments.
Yeah.
Let it come out there each and every year.
Yep.
Because people can make bad investments. You believe in an idea and it doesn't work out. So that's just the reality of it. Any other things that we around Major League Baseball? We'll dive into some of the Orioles related Major League Baseball notes, like the David Rubenstein dancing on the dugout, which was electric. Not everyone loved it. Not everyone loved it, but we'll get into that in a little bit. What was I thinking right now? Got a great voice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just while we have a little lull, Jason Tatum just became the highest paid player in NBA history.
Oh my God. Yeah, you want to talk about stupid money?
Yeah, that's what me and Kevin were
Jesus
just showing.
Christ.
He's making $63 million a year now.
For how many years?
5.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That
315 total.
315
over 5 years.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Well, and like Paul George, first off, the Thunder. No teams ever want to trade more than the Oklahoma City Thunder. That deal for the Clippers made to get Paul George, and then Paul George to then now leave and get the bag in Philly.
Give them credit. They put their trust in some random 12-year-olds like 9 years ago, and they drafted the right ones.
They did.
They drafted the right ones.
Yeah.
Like you see all those picks back in like 2019. It's like, oh, this pick is in like 2025. And you're like, that's not a real year. And now they're using those assets to actually go get people. And you're like, oh, that kind of worked out.
Yeah, it certainly did work out. Last bit of note, at least for Maryland here, we have so much more coming out with the Ice Cube interview, by the way. And we're going to, yes, the Celtics are for sale too, by the way, Blue Gold. Yeah, they've won championships. Now they're ready to sell. They're looking for $5 billion. So if you want the Celtics,
said sell high. He's like, we won the ship. That's all I needed. Someone else take this team.
We got a lot of good players. $5 billion the price. But hey, this is a way smaller price for this deal that's going on right now, guys. And honestly, it's not just looking for a deal. If you look for entertainment, the big three just came to Baltimore, right? And great for the city. You got to see some fun players and Ice Cube performed. But now, we talked about this before, going down to Annapolis and playing at Navy is an English Premier soccer game. Crystal Palace and Wolves are coming down there. And guys, there is even more of a special that is currently going on for that game. So that game is on, I believe, July 31st. Not believe, I know. It's July 31st because we're all going to be there. We're going to get some content. We're working on our short form content so we can give you guys some really in-depth analysis there. And honestly, so we can get better for our Orioles coverage there for Zach, Kevin, Brad, and myself. so we can really have some fun at Oriole Park and Camden Yards, hopefully for the playoffs. But just so people want to know, there's a 4th of July flash sale going on. And this is the deal. You can save 25% on your purchase. Tickets are going as low as $35 to go there. $35 to watch 2 Premier League teams play down in Annapolis. And the offer is valid July 1st through July 7th. All you got to do is use code JUL4 soccer. We'll put that code out there. It's like July 4 soccer. We will put that code out there if you're interested. And come hang with us. Come hang with us as we're going to be down there for that game. And any other questions, go to statesidecup.com for more. And guys, now it's time to jump back in. Really jump back into what's going on here as we think about some current things here. And Brad's making his way for a round. But let's talk some prospects. Is it time? Is it time to talk prospects? It's time for Kevin to wake up?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that right now. So, guys, there's been a lot of conversations about these Orioles prospects. Heston Kjerstad, would you be willing to give him up? And a lot of people are going, well, wait a minute. No, Heston looks really good right now. Well, we need pitching. Well, who are you going to give up? Who's available? So should we play a little game of who we believe is untouchable?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I want you to raise your hand if you think he's untouchable. Okay.
Heston Kjerstad? Or okay.
We're going to start right now. Zach.
Wait.
We're talking about this current at this trade deadline. Correct?
Okay, Zach, I'm borrowing this.
That's
Green or
those are mine.
oh, well, who's ever.
That's mine. That's my avocado shaker.
Green or red to yes, untouchable, no, untouchable.
So green.
I think just raise your hand if you're untouchable.
Yeah, I think that's easier, Kevin. But if you want to make this more challenging.
Yeah, we're going to make it fun.
Okay. So green is he's untouchable.
Yes.
Red means he can go.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not he. That sounds a little rude.
Well, okay. Yes. He is available.
Yes.
There we go. Look at Kevin doing that. All right. So here we go. We'll start with this. Heston Kjerstad. Untouchable or not?
Who gets the answer first?
Well, I have it on Kevin here. Okay,
Was
so Kevin
that
says untouchable.
untouchable?
He's untouchable.
I thought we were just raising our hand.
Okay,
for
you raise
untouchable.
your hand if you raise your hand if you think he's untouchable. Untouchable for Zach. Untouchable for Brad. I'm with you. I think it's across the board untouchable.
Breaking news.
Yep, Joe. Well, is that really breaking news with Joe?
That was the joke, Ryan.
Joe loves his Hawks. And his own as well. But this is
Jesus.
So anyway, Heston to me, and I told you guys this, I thought he was the best pure left-handed bat that could help the Orioles last year at the time coming up. And I think we were waiting for him to get more opportunities. I think Colton Cowser's a tremendous player. I think he is going to also still be in Baltimore because there's so much upside. I just think Heston Kjerstad's power and ability can rival a lot on the team. And we saw it now in the last week. It's been proven to people like, man, there's a reason why Heston Kjerstad was taken so high in the draft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He looks like a guy that is an impact bat and impact player for this lineup, hopefully moving forward. So we're going to stay there. Now let's move to another player here. Go down the list. Maybe I think this is going to be an easy one, but I'll be curious. Kobe Mayo. Yep, I'm with you. Kobe's not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, dude's got 20 jacks, hitting 323, whatever it is.
Untouchable.
Untouchable. All right, Sam Basayo. Kevin makes it so damn hard. Okay, so you're saying Sam's touchable.
I think he can be on the table.
So he's available. He's available.
Well, I mean, I understand why you would want to keep him. But you have Adley behind the plate, and I just think that we could find another backup catcher. Basayo could be one of those. We'll get to the other one, I'm sure, that I think is also could be on the table, but for the same reasons, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm saying Basayo could be tradable.
I'm very curious to see what the long-term plan is for Adley.
Yeah.
Whether it is catcher or they move him around a little bit. I don't know.
Where are they going to move Adley outside of catcher?
Well,
First base.
The DH?
first base and DH. And I think that Adley, if the goal is realistically for Adley, if you can have him catch for 5 more seasons consistently, that's very good. Getting past 30 and 32 to 33, how much is your body?
He's also only catching, 4 out of 7 games. I mean, James McCann is in that lineup, it feels like, at least 50% of the time. So,
well, it's DH and a lot too.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's more. I think he and Adley become eventually. I put Basayo as more untouchable than Kerstead in my mind. I think Kerstead is expendable. You have a lot more talent coming up in the outfield, and Basayo, like you said, Ryan. I think after Adley, and it's nothing to do with against Adley, but Adley Rutschman, if he can catch for 5 more years, that's awesome. But we've seen catchers deteriorate over time, and that's why they're having him DH so much. I think Basayo is going to end up being the best bat of any of these prospects. I just think for what he's doing at 19 years old, he's just and it is very. I've seen a few people talk about you might not see him until 2026, and I think that's a very good possibility for Basayo solely because of how young he is.
Still only be 21.
Yeah, I just think with his just unreal hitting ability, he's got and another reason, and I don't know, this isn't really like stats, it's just something that I think subconsciously Elias thinks about. Basayo was their first big guy they signed from like the Dominican signing thing. So that was I remember international signing period. So that's another thing. I think maybe Mike's a little attached to Samuel because he's like, that was our first big get.
Yeah, I mean, for Sam Basayo right now, who's currently wondering, at 19 years old in Double-A right now, he has 11 home runs, OPS at 800, slugging 461, 13 doubles, and again, 19-year-old, where he's almost 5 years younger in the age gap for the average Double-A age. So it's a guy that I think is it fair to say a guy like Kerstead or Basayo, if they go after a pretty top-end, young, controllable pitcher, one of those guys is going to have to be in the deal.
Every one of them.
That would be fair to say. And in this case, Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Okay, back to the question.
What did you do?
I think he read the comments.
You did.
So anyway, back to the question here. All right, Jackson Holiday. Kevin. Untouchable. Untouchable. Oh, sugar.
Some things are just untouchable.
Some things aren't.
What has this show turned into? All right, here's an I think we I have an idea of where we're going with this, but Connor Norby. All right, available.
I forget that you're playing that game. I saw you raising your hand, and I was like, "Really, Kevin?"
No,
I think I expected all that, right? And Kyle Stowers, similar thought.
Yeah. A guy that I think we should talk about is Colton Cowser, because I still think he's in that. If he gets brought up, I think it's I don't necessarily think he's in the clear of he's not going to be offered.
Well, when I think of players that if they weren't on the team, how much of an impact would that make? Like a negative, how much of it, how much would you notice they're gone? And I mean, I don't mean this as the person, right? As the player. I think Cowser could be in that conversation.
Yeah, especially if Kerstead keeps hitting
because of the depth. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And that was my whole argument with Basayo is like, I think Kerstead will probably be the better player, but just there's so much outfield depth the Orioles have right now where
Well, I think is the actual conversation Heston versus Cowser instead of Heston versus Stowers.
Oh, well, I think Heston beats both of them probably, but
I think Heston is the most. I think Colton has the ability to be the overall all-around guy. Heston has the most power upside and offensive upside. I think that's
fair.
The part where it is. Personally, I don't think I don't think Cowser goes anywhere. I don't think anyone here. I think that the Orioles have so many players that are at the lower levels. Honestly, I think that's where the moves are going to be. Where guys that maybe AA, AAA, like Norby could be a piece, and then have 2 or 3 spots that are very interesting. But then
I think Norby's almost certainly not going to be here.
Yeah.
And I hope so.
Yeah.
And like
I want him to have a chance.
Yeah,
to be big,
I-
wherever that is, but
I-
he deserves
him
it.
and Stowers, me and Kevin talked about this last night. I just, for their sake, I want them to be traded.
Yeah.
Like, because we said this last night. If they trade Norby and Stowers in a package for a player, I will almost guarantee that the next day both of them are in the starting lineup for that major league team. Like,
and there's
that's
so
just-
many like big leaguers that are still in AAA right now for the O's that are playing on the Tides that could start anywhere else in the league. I mean, Dan Hall talked about that the other day about Kobe Mayo being he's a starter on any other team if it wasn't in the Orioles organization.
Yeah,
Right.
without a doubt.
And so this is the thing is I understand you can't keep all these young guys blue gold, and that's the part, but you're not going to give these guys away for anything. And that's why people keep saying Skubal. Oh, go get Skubal. Are the Tigers shopping him?
No.
I don't know, but if they are, you know how much it's going to cost? It's going to cost a lot more than Garrett Crochet.
It's going to cost the Jackson Holiday.
Well, so, and that was what me and Kevin have talked about and it's why I asked for this deadline. Are we talking untouchable? Because there's no one that I believe available starting pitcher wise at this deadline is worth giving up any of these guys. I think you can get guys who will maybe not be the big young star like Garrett Crochet, but the Jack Flaherty's, the Luis Severinos, the Eric Fetties, these guys are going to cost a lot less. They're not going to cost your top guy. And we saw it with Jordan Montgomery last year. He was the add-on. The Rangers went and got Max Scherzer. Then all of a sudden they got Jordan Montgomery, and people were like, that's okay. At least you got Scherzer. That's a cool add-on. And Jordan Montgomery is one of the main reasons they made such a deep playoff run and then won the World Series because of how he pitched.
Yeah. What Jack Flaherty's ERA is what, low 3s right now? Yeah. Quality pitcher.
He's got good stuff. You take chances on guys with good stuff. They took a chance on Jack Flaherty and Fuji last year. Oh, my heart.
Fuji.
I miss him.
I miss
him. What a vibe. And
Yeah.
you didn't know if the ball was going to the backstop or he's going to strike out the side. But
He was damn good doing it.
you lived for the moment there.
He reminds me of what was it, Earthworm Jim? Remember that game? He just looked like his arm just looked like it wasn't attached to his body.
It was just controlled chaos at all times. Not really even controlled. There was just a lot of chaos.
Yeah, I think just chaos is a better way to describe it.
103 miles an hour, man.
And how about this? This leads into it. And Justin, you almost beat me to this. And this leads into the factor crap situation here.
I wasn't done talking prospects. We can move on.
No,
We can
come
move
on, Kevin. You got the
Cade Povich,
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think
Chase McDermott.
Oh, well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they give up any
I just don't think
pitchers right now.
I would say Seth Johnson would be the guy.
Seth
Johnson would be the guy.
Okay.
I could see the throw and be Seth, not throwing, but I could
Here's
see
my
the big
opinion
throw.
right now. I think the Orioles, if they trade any pitching prospects, like higher up pitching prospects, AA or higher, it would be in the offseason.
Yeah.
I don't think they make any move because they do not have the depth to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else goes down, they literally have to go and sign guys. Off of other
Spencer
teams.
Watkins.
Spencer Watkins, and there's a deal right now.
I was just gonna say
the deal right now is he exercised a clause in his contract that he wants to be added to a 40-man, and now other teams get the opportunity to pluck him off the Rochester Red Wings, but they must add him to their 40-man. So that's an interesting one. Could there be a reunion?
that'd be cool.
And will we have Spencer Watkins on if that happens?
Without a doubt.
You're damn right.
Oh my God, yeah.
Waddy's such a great guy. But again, like the point being, that's where you're at. And we already talked about this, and I know that people go on about with the whole Trevor Bauer situation. And look, when we've talked about this, I feel like people come at it personally. It's almost like
we're not saying that we're not attacking him personally. We're giving our opinion on what we actually think will happen.
We think what the Orioles are going to do.
Or the MLB in general.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Tim Kirchin was just like, I just don't see it happening. Wasn't that, no, Trevor is an asshole. He's not
or no, he's not talented.
Yeah,
It's not any.
yeah.
It's not any.
He
of
just
that.
said, I don't see it happening.
Correct. So in that case, that's the thing what we talked about. I said why I didn't think the Orioles would sign Trevor Bauer is because new ownership coming in for the first time. It's a lot of PR to take on. Trevor Bauer also has his own media on top of it. And because of MLB situation with Trevor, that's why I think it's not going to happen. And then on top of it, if they don't win the World Series, your team is going to have a lot of stress on it. And that's where we don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, think about what happens to your culture if one thing goes wrong and then it's immediately on YouTube for millions of people to see. Because that's what Bauer does. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's what's worked for him. That's why so many people are talking about him. But does your ball club want something like that? Probably not. If I had to take a guess.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, there's a ton of risk involved in that.
There's a ton of risk. But how about this though, guys? And this is a part of the fact or crap, because this is the one I'm really interested in, and this got my brain thinking. So Texas just came into town, fellas. And look, it's been a rough go for the Rangers. This is not the Rangers right now that looked like a playoff team, even though they had struggles last year. This does not look like the same Texas team. DeGrom is not healthy. Their offense is not performing. Max Scherzer just came back. But right now, they're sitting 8 games out of a wild card spot, only a game and a half ahead of the Los Angeles Angels. So if these next 2 weeks are rough for Texas, and say they draw double digits behind for a wild card spot, guys, fact or crap, Max Scherzer would be an excellent trade piece that the Orioles should go out to get.
Who are you picking first?
Kevin.
Oh.
Kevin is in. So Kevin is saying fact.
That's right.
Why are you saying fact, Kevin?
Why, Kevin?
I think, to me, you look at the starters on the market currently, and we're not going to really know for a lot of these fringe teams until probably the second to last of the last week of July. But if Texas, if they're struggling, if they continue to slide here, I think that Scherzer is a good option for them. And I don't know. I would feel confident and comfortable with an Orioles top 3, because I think what Zach and I have been talking about on the post game, and that kind of led into the Povich number 3 conversation we just had earlier. Burns, Rodriguez, and Scherzer is your top 3. I would feel comfortable enough in that to where you can have Povich and Kramer, and you can move Suarez and Irvin back to the bullpen. That gets you bullpen help, and that's just generally for if they get a starter. But this market right now for starters, there aren't necessarily like aces, like number 1s or even it feels like there are number 3 or number 4s available right now. Whether you want to talk about teams that are absolutely tanking or teams that are kind of on the fringe, I think Scherzer would be a guy that I would like to see the Orioles go after.
Zach?
Even though he is not the Max Scherzer of his prime, obviously.
Yeah. This is a tough one. I don't know, because the more I'm looking into it, I want to say yes, but people are acting like, at least these are what I'm reading through stuff and articles, they think that Scherzer can get a haul. And they're talking about guys like you would have to give up a Mayo or something. And I don't see that
No way.
at all.
No.
On the last year of his contract, I like that. So it's going to be, I assumed it was going to be cheaper, but if you can avoid giving up, maybe you toss in Norby, you give up, Stowers, those is your big guy in it. Without a doubt, I would do it without a hesitation. The injury concerns me a little bit. That's why I'm afraid to kind of give up a lot. He's only thrown twice this year, so that definitely plays a little factor into it. But if it's a big deal, no. If it's for anyone outside of the Orioles, kind of top consensus, top 4, top 5 prospects, I would do it.
Yeah. I think it's a fact as well. I see a lot of people saying that he's washed. He's 39 years old. And I remind you people that Justin Verlander is 41 years old. And I believe he has another year on his contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So age is just a number at this point. And at the end of the day, we're talking, we don't have to give up much because of what you had just mentioned. Max hasn't been pitching. He's had 2 outings.
Yeah.
And he just came back, so it's his first 2 outings back from the
injury.
season. Yep.
Right. So he's had some time to rehab. He's basically only going to have to play a half a season, And, if you're worried about age, you're not going to have to worry about the full 162 getting after him.
Yeah.
So I think that there is definitely something to be said for that. And you don't have to give up the farm on a rental, even if it is Max Scherzer. So I think that and a lot of people say, well, let me take it back. He doesn't have to be the ace that he once was.
Yes.
He just has to be good enough. And I think right now he has the potential to be good enough. Not only that, you and I have talked about this, Ryan. We talked about it with Mike Elias on the importance of veterans, and in particular, veterans that had tons of playoff experiences. Max Scherzer has had 30 starts in the playoffs. He's had 30 playoff starts in his career, which is a lot more than most pitchers that are current right now. So I would say that yeah, I think it's fact. I think that it's an entirely plausible trade target.
And again, I'm seeing another name that could pop up on this team. Nathan Eovaldi is in a similar situation where they're both going to be free agents after this season. But I'm saying fact. And again, let's just say this out loud here. Pitching now is different, and elite pitchers can pitch for longer. Yes, Scherzer's 39, and I understand the injuries and the worries of this. But a guy that last year overall was his worst year in the last – I don't know. I'm going through this right now.
And he wasn't healthy.
And wasn't fully healthy, but his last year in 27 starts had a 3.77 ERA. He had a 3.20 ERA with the Texas Rangers. He had a 4.01 with the Mets. And the Mets were a disaster last year.
Yeah.
But since that was his worst ERA, if the Orioles got a 3.77 ERA Scherzer, that's his worst ERA of his career since 2009.
Yeah.
And so the other part I want to throw out there, and again, Max Scherzer in his first two outings to me looks like the Max Scherzer still of the guy that can go out there and be ace-like. And he doesn't have to be number one because you have Corbin Burns.
And Grayson.
And then you have Grayson, but I'd still Max Scherzer slotting in, and people are wondering about for prospects, a 39-year-old, you're right. And that's the big thing here is it fits the profile for the Orioles. They don't have to overspend for them.
Right.
The Rangers are going to try to get guys, but it might take a lower level guy. It's not going to take the Orioles will not trade one of their untouchable guys for Max Scherzer. And I want to get that out there. They will have to trade them for Skubal or Crochet. That is a fact. Skubal or Crochet is going to have to be in the conversation if the Orioles are going to
and that's just not
give up an untouchable. And it's a value thing.
Well, that's not Uncle Mike's MO. Uncle Mike's not giving up a top prospect to go after a Skubal or something like that. He'd rather try to find a homegrown one if he can help it. And I just don't see I would be floored if Mike Elias made a trade like that.
Yeah. And so, but that's why, though, I look at this and you're going, you want to win right now. And let's be honest, if Max Scherzer is the Max Scherzer that I think he is right now, and think about that. Think about Max over the last 4 years of what he was.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you take a starting three of Corbin Burns, Max Scherzer, and Grayson Rodriguez into a playoff series right now?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Of all the names of the teams, and this is all contingent on Texas is the one team right now. They're not going to give up DeGrom.
Then a healthy Dean
right now.
A healthy Dean and Cade Povich. There's your 5-man rotation.
To me, I'm just saying, if I'm the Orioles and the price right now for Scherzer, which the Rangers probably would still eat a lot of the contract here, by the way. It's a $22.5 million payroll that he's getting paid out, but the Rangers would have to eat most of that, probably part of the deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're an Orioles fan and you want a guy in the playoffs that can go and win it, and it's not going to be Justin Verlander that's available, I'm in on Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
I'm in on him.
I think I might be more in on Eovaldi, though, the more I look at it. Nathan Eovaldi is just a different human being in the playoffs. I mean, his career, he has a 3.05 ERA in the playoffs over 17 appearances. He's 9-3, 82 strikeouts. I mean, he's just every single time, 2018 with the Red Sox, 2021 with the Red Sox, and 2023 with the Rangers, every single one of those runs, Nathan Eovaldi, hand him the baseball and he was going to go win you a damn game in October. So obviously, if you want to talk big name over their career. He's not a Max Scherzer, but right now, either of those two would look really good sitting at that number 3 spot for the Orioles rotation in October.
And I think that both of them could be available.
Yeah.
And it's solely contingent on what Texas does down in the next 2 weeks of the season. And again, I reiterate, the Texas Rangers are 8 games under 500 right now. And this isn't the National League where you can be at the moment 6 games under, 7 games under 500 and be 5 out of a wild card spot. The Cubs are 7 under and 5 games out. Texas is 8 under and 8 out.
It's going to be such a weird deadline. I mean, we've been talking about it for the past month or so now, where it's like there are so many of these teams in flux. We just don't know what they're going to do. A team could wake up one day after a 3-game win streak and say, oh yeah, we're going all in with this roster. We're not selling anybody. We're buying. And another team could go through a 2-game rough stretch 2 weeks before, 2 days before the deadline and say, okay, we're packing it up. Here are all our players. Go get some. So it's going to be weird because you mentioned it. There are like multiple teams in that scenario. And we're just not going to know until probably like July 20th, July 25th, what direction those teams want to go in. And that's big because trades in season cost more than trades out of season because everybody wants the same guy or multiple guys.
Yeah.
And there is the deadline. Like that's the point where they can leverage different offers and say, okay, if you're not going to give us what we want by the time of the deadline, we're just going to give them to someone else. So either you up your offer or you're not getting them. So that's what the Orioles have to deal with. Now, the thing the Orioles do have is if they really, really wanted to, they can go prospect for prospect with anybody, but you have to be smart about that, not just give up prospects to give up prospects.
Right.
And that's the point. Garrett Crochet, I'm going to say it again, Crochet and Scooble are going to take, if they're available, the untouchables are going and there's some, a team control component, but you're going to have to pay those guys eventually on top of it. Scherzer's a guy right now that you can give up talent and still not give up any part of your big part of your future yet.
Yeah.
And make another deal like you can in the offseason. That's what I want to point out to. The Orioles can get in position to win the 2024 World Series without sacrificing what their farm can be for the future and could go make a splash move in the offseason yet again. So I think it'll be very interesting to see. I think honestly then, guys, I asked some people out there, but should I do a breakdown? Because I don't think people understand what I still see with Max Scherzer in the first 2 starts.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that might have to be the breakdown.
Yeah, that can go to your the trade deadline target breakdowns you're doing.
All right, we're going Max Scherzer. We'll have Nathan Eovaldi thrown in there at a point. We'll do Garrett Crochet. But I'm really Texas is the team that I cannot figure out right now.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. You think with how talented Texas is and how
They
everyone
have to
thinks.
sell.
But that's the thing is, as talented as people think Texas is, and they are a win now team, they're only a game and a half up on an Angels team that everyone thinks
Are they
so
win
lowly.
now though? Like that's the weird thing. Texas has so many. Look at Wyatt Langford. You have Josh Young. You have Evan Carter. Obviously, Corey.
They have
Seager,
so much
and
talent and just haven't been able to put it together.
Simeon and Seager, I go obviously on the wrong side of 30, but they're still incredible the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You still have guys like Adolis Garcia, who's going to be great.
Well, and Jung is still there, and
And then so then you also
Young.
Yeah, it's Young. That is Young.
Yeah, it's Young.
Yeah.
Young.
Very
It's Young.
confusing, but
Young.
yeah, that just goes.
Like you
Young.
spell Yong, Young.
The J is
the J is silent.
Correct.
Yeah. But
Heston.
But that's what I'm saying is if they get rid of Eovaldi and Scherzer, there was a chance that they were losing both in free agency anyway.
Right.
Chalk this season up as hell. That sucked. Won the World Series. Everyone got injured. Pack it up. Let's try it again
Hangover
next year.
happened.
Yeah. It happens. Then you go out there, you restock in this offseason. Your young guys get another year of experience in them, and then you can go for it again. I don't think, that if they're in a weird spot where they have older guys that obviously make them look win now. They don't have DeGrom pitching right now, but they do have opportunity, I think, in the future. But it's going to be some of the core pitchers are where they're going to lose their guys.
Yeah, and again, we're looking at it. We're going to have this is the first. It's July, so we're allowed to talk about it now. And the Orioles are going to also look for relievers. So when we're talking about teams here, they might try to get a multi-package in for players. So keep that in mind as we go. The Orioles are going to be active, but as they're trying to put together pieces to go win a World Series, the question's going to be who's available and how much they're going to be willing to give up for multiple pieces, because that's also what I think they're going to do. I think the Orioles are going to go after multiple pieces. And do you want to sacrifice that for 2024 with so much young talent that you're still trying to figure out is what's going to be the piece of the puzzle. So I'm excited about it. And hey, guys, you knew that channel, hit that like and subscribe button. And we didn't mention this before, but we have this on Spotify and Apple. So if you can't watch us, we would prefer you to watch us. You can listen on Apple and Spotify, The Ryan Ripken Show. The audio comes out after the episode, either the latest, it's the next morning, or it'll be out after the show on Monday night. But we hope you guys are continuing to enjoy whatever is going on and whatever Kevin's doing and Zach and Brad. And that's all I have to say about that. Kevin, what movie?
All right. You don't know that movie?
That's all I have to say about that.
Austin Powers.
Oh my
Talladega Nights.
Dude,
Anchorman.
I've literally we've had this conversation 4 times.
Did I get it?
No.
Which one is it?
It's none of them.
It's not. He runs a lot.
Forrest Gump.
There we go. Jesus.
First guess.
First.
Okay.
First guess.
All right. Is there anything else we need to touch on before getting out of here? I think we're good. But guys, we appreciate it. There's a lot of talk. So again, right after this is done, Holy Shirts and Pants members, I'm going to get the Max Scherzer breakdown then going for you guys so you guys can see it. We can talk about it and why I think he's a candidate. And we'll also do Nathan Eovaldi here in the future. Kevin, you got anything else? There's no Orioles game tonight, so no post-game Zach and Kevin reacts tonight.
Kevin and Zach reacts.
Sorry.
I do it too. I'm still getting used to it. We have a name. We didn't have a name for so long, and now we finally have a name. So
There's that.
It's exciting.
Do you know what? And it's a great time to end the show.
Yep.
It's a great.
No. I think he's in the booth right now.
He is in the booth. Okay, for that reason alone. Oh,
Hey!
Our favorite Italian.
Yeah, what's going on,
Rocco.
fellas? What?
You didn't hear that. He didn't hear that first part.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear it. What's up?
We're about to wrap up here, and you guys are about to tip off up there at first pitch is in what, 40 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 7:05, 35 minutes. We're getting going, or about 30 minutes. Yeah.
Our night's just beginning, man. I mean, you can go do your thing, sip your tequila, have a good time, sip and smile, whatever you want to call it. But like, we're about to hit the ground running out here.
Well, hey, do us a favor. Do us a favor, Rock, and stop jinxing pitchers like Cole Irvin like you've continued to do. And I didn't even make that reference today.
Listen, Raj, should I draw a chalk outline of where you dropped that fly ball here in Aberdeen and you got yelled at by the fans?
Oh.
I can.
I didn't drop the foul ball. And Rocco, we'll talk about that time you played professional baseball down the road. But actually, it wasn't that. It was an error on a throw I made to the pitcher.
Yeah.
And then I got reamed out that I was I ruined everyone's night there. It was a rainy game, waste of a roster spot, and that was a lot of other banter.
We got the positive vibes rolling in the booth right now. We're speaking only positive things into existence. Ironbirds are going for their 8th win in their last 9 games. It's happening tonight.
And didn't they? And wasn't it? There was a walk-off last night, and that was the anniversary of the Luke Combs walk-off.
Yep. Yeah. So this is wild, right? So yeah, one is the anniversary of last year's the Luke Combs Jackson Holiday homer. But so yesterday, we take a lead into the 9th, give up 4 in the top of the 9th, lose the lead. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, no one on. Flare base hit to right field to keep it going.
Yes.
Chopper up the middle to keep it going. First and second, tying runs at the dish. But Bradfield gets on as the tying run in pouring rain. So then we get a 20-minute rain delay with 1 out to go in the bottom of the 9th. After the rain delay, Tavian Josenberger steps up. First pitch, bomb to right. It was crazy.
Just can't make
it.
You
gotta listen to this guy's call. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I've
was
listened.
incredible.
Yeah, we heard it.
I was fired up.
Absolutely. As always. How could you not be romantic about baseball? The house that Ripken built, just not Ryan Ripken. It was his dad. So yeah. Great place. I'm excited. He's excited. We're fired up. We're ready to go. Rip, you should come on up here. Enjoy it. Take this one in.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
You think Rocco could say all that shit and get away with it? Are you kidding me?
Dude, the clapbacks are fantastic. You're a legend. Love you, buddy.
He's having himself a day with the
Mike.
clapbacks here.
Yeah, he thinks he has immunity in this situation.
He's with Mike, and it's not going to help him.
Yeah.
Mike,
Mike,
so you can't come at me with the baseball bat. So like, I feel like I'm safe right now. This is my safe.
Oh, you're not.
Hey,
Well,
his name is on the show, and his name is on that stadium.
Dude, by the way, speaking of that baseball bat, Brad, when you left the other day, when you went out, there was like a noise in the back. And like, Ryan just like looks at me, slowly picks up the baseball bat and like creeps his way back because he wasn't sure like who was back there. And it was, if we could have got that on video, man, it was like one of the funniest things I've seen. I was like, what are you going to do right now, Rip, if someone's back there? Like, you're not going to hit anybody. You're just not.
Yeah, before we go, storyline to watch tonight.
Yes.
So Rocco's got a chance to move past Zach for runs as my guest color commentator. Zach put up 5 and a W to start
In a W.
He gets extra points because he was my first guest of the season. But Rock's got a chance to move past that tonight.
Listen, I'm bringing the positive vibes, the Rocco jinx. It does not happen here in Aberdeen. Mark it down. Going to be a great night here for some baseball.
God, I really hope we don't have to clip this.
I'm calling double-digit runs from the Ironbirds tonight.
I hate to root against the Ironbirds, but if they got like a perfect game thrown against them with Rocco in the booth, it would be the funniest.
Zach's got to be banned from the ballpark after that.
Wow. If that happens now, I don't think I can come back after calling that.
Absolutely not.
It's a battle of first place teams in the Dean. It's cinema tonight.
And who they facing off against?
We got the Greensboro Grasshoppers in town. Beautiful name.
Oh yeah, beautiful game. And where can people listen to you guys for the game?
Yeah, so you can go to the MILB app where if you've got the subscription, you can watch the broadcast. But there's an audio only version for free that's in the MILB app. Just go to the App Store. You can even go at just MILB.com and do that online. And then the Bally Live Now app. Head over the App Store, download that, and you can watch for free on that.
Hell yeah! So people right there, go watch, go listen in.
Yeah,
it's great. And honestly, you want to hear about more of the prospects of what's happening. No one knows it more right now. Not you, Rocco.
Listen,
at Mike Dub Sports, right?
He's got a voice that's like Fergie and Jesus combined. So, like, if you want to tune in, if you want to hear the pipes that he's got going for him, I suggest you tune in, download the app, and tune into the broadcast. You can have me on mute. I think we're going to create an option where you don't have to listen to my analysis. So that'll be good for everybody tuning in, listening, especially Brad. So
yeah, you might even get fired up tonight. You never know.
There we go.
Let's get fired up tonight. And what was I about to say? Darn it! Oh yeah, Kevin, did you catch that movie quote by Rocco? No chance.
No.
Kevin needs to be fired up, man, more than anyone. Like we need to get the vibes up, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, you missed an all-time chat, so the vibes were something a little earlier.
Rocco.
Did anybody
Rocco.
Hold on. What? Did anybody catch that Ben McDonald missed the Shirley quote from Kevin?
Yeah, I stand with Ben McDonald. I stand with Ben.
No.
Oh yeah, Brad, when you brought that up, that was
Kevin Brown served it up, and then there was just awkward silence, just crickets. I was like, I just felt bad for Kevin Brown.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, you guys get ready for the game.
All right.
We're gonna sign on out of here. Appreciate you guys.
Sounds
all
good.
Go
all
Birds.
Right,
go tune in.
Peace out.
Tune in to watch.
Good luck.
Go tune in to watch them. So
hey, fuck off, Rocco.
Well,
yeah, get off the screen, Rocco.
Yeah. Well, gosh, if the jinx is real, if the Ironbirds don't win tonight.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't have to clip what he just said, but we will be clipping what he just said if something happens.
And mashing it with Cole Irvin.
He did it to himself.
He did. But guys, you know who's fine?
The O's.
The
O's are fine. Remember that as we get ready to kick this series off against the Mariners on Tuesday night. Late one there out there on the West Coast. All right. Can't find my glasses. I'll grab the Moose then. Moose.
Those are my blue ones. They're on the table.
On the table here?
Should be.
Oh, sugar. I can't find it. Oh, there they are. Hit it. As always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you can hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Enjoy the Mariners versus the Orioles. And as always, have a day, have a night, and we will see you next time for a brand new edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. Wait, Kevin, what is that?